Hey guys, Rohan here, and I thought I'd take a little bit of time today to demo the MVP release of Bubbles. It's a web application we hope to use to revolutionize online meeting software. So yeah, let's just get into it right now. So to get started, you can pretty much just boot up your favorite internet browser and head over to eventbubbles.com. And at first glance, you'll see, this landing page, and you can hit sign in right here. And if you're a new user, you'll probably be prompted with these four options, and you can use whatever you want. I'm going to sign in with Google with my regular Gmail account here. And if you're familiar with the way Bubbles works, you'll know that right now we're really targeting that, collegiate event use case. So, let's take the example of a career fair. So in a career fair, you would have the event organizer, and then you would have a recruiter. So the event organizer creates a bubble board, and then a recruiter owns an individual bubble on the board. So for example, a Tesla recruiter. And then you have the actual event attendees, which are, students from UIUC who are just attending this career fair in a virtual experience. So right now I'm going to try to simulate for you guys how it would be if I was an event organizer. So if I hit create now, I can create a new bubble board. Let's say my event is going to be, 95 minutes long, and you'll see it pretty much really quickly loaded up our bubble board builder here. So what we can do with this is a number of things. So first of all, I'm going to get started by creating my career fair bubble board. So I'm going to create a Tesla bubble. And one thing to note here is I can either upload the icon for Tesla, or I can get the URL of an icon off of Google Images. It's up to you. But for the sake of speed, I actually have the icons downloaded on my system here, so I'm just gonna pull these out. Okay, here's Tesla. Okay, there's our Tesla icon. Let's say we also have Google attending our career fair. Okay, here's Google. Okay, there's Google. And what's that? Dell. Okay. And let's add Amazon, and then we'll add Apple. I think that should be enough. So here's Amazon. And lastly, let's add Apple. Okay, so for the sake of time, you'll see I pretty much just have 5 booths, virtual booths at my career fair event here. Tesla, Dell, Apple, Google, and Amazon. And what I'm going to show you now is a number of things you can do to interact with these bubbles. So right now I'm a creator, so I can do pretty much anything. I can, add notes here about the bubble. I can say I'm going to be back in 7 minutes, if I'm heading out for a few minutes to grab a snack or something. If it's, for interviews, maybe I want to mark it as a one-on-one meeting so that, only one attendee can be admitted into the bubble at a time. I can even dynamically change the icon to something else if I so choose to. And the other thing here is what you'll actually see this later, but what this is it's dashboard of resumes that you'll see populating later when you have a bunch of attendees, uploading their resume to your bubble. So it's kind of like a built-in resume book. You can just hit download all, and you'll get all the resumes that were uploaded to your bubble. And if you click this trash box button here, you can actually just delete that bubble. Yeah. So that's pretty much what you can do. You can even favorite it, for example. Yeah, and yeah, so let's just hit update to database. And what this will do is, it'll basically publish your bubble board, right? And ideally, you would also be clicking this button here that says finalize bubble board, which talks to our backend services to generate private channels for each of your bubbles so that each bubble has its own individual channel in our bubble chat application. And every user will be added to all of these channels so that, they can interact with any one of these bubbles at any point in the duration of the bubble board event. However, that particular feature is still somewhat under development. It's about 95% done, but keep your eyes peeled. We'll have that for you very soon. So what I'm going to do right now is actually as a creator, I'm going to copy the invitation link, and I'm going to hypothetically send an email to all of my recruiters and attendees sharing this link. So I'm just going to paste that link right here. Okay. And then now I'm going to simulate what it's like to be an attendee of the event. So for the sake of clarity here, I'm just going to label it. So say this tab is where I'm the event organizer. Okay, that's in red. And then this tab here is where I'm the event attendee. Okay. So I can just go to eventbubbles.com. And as usual, I will sign in. And then from this hypothetical email that I got with the code, I would just copy that code, paste it right there, hit go, and it should just load up the bubble board that the creator made for me. So you'll see that as an event attendee, a number of permissions have been disabled. For example, I can no longer create bubbles. I can't move these bubbles. However, there are a lot of things I still can interact with. For instance, I can favorite the bubbles. For example, if you have a large event and you just want to keep track of, the ones you really like, go for it. I can even take notes on the bubble. So just say I came out of the Apple meeting and I had a really good time. So just remind myself to email Dan about Apple internships after the event, right? Another thing I could do actually is I can upload my resume to this bubble. So let me just find a resume here. So, okay, let's just upload this resume. Hit submit, okay. And you'll see the resume was successfully uploaded, perfect. And now if I'm the event organizer or even a recruiter with access to this endpoint, you'll see that I can just right click, hit this dashboard, and I see that user's resume here. So, in a real life setting, you'd probably have a bunch of resumes here, and you're more than welcome to click this button a bunch of times to download them individually, or you can just hit download all, which will download them to a convenient zip file onto your computer. So that's pretty much all the icons that you have access to and can interact with as an event attendee. And now I'll actually simulate to you guys what it's like to actually enter these bubbles, right? So as a creator or even a recruiter, I have to first open up these bubbles so that people can enter them from the attendee aspect. So I'll just open up this Tesla bubble here. And what we actually done here is we have a couple things. So you have the Jitsi button and the Zoom button. And clicking any of these buttons will launch their respective video chat services. And the reason we've integrated multiple third-party services like this is because, after a bunch of customer discovery, we've realized that, people really like, the services they're already using, and there's just something lacking in them that, we could add on top of to make it better. So, why build a whole new video chat service that may or may not be reliable when you can just integrate something that, has like pretty much like 99.99% uptime, something like Zoom or Jitsi, right? So, Jitsi is a really good open source video chat service. So I'm going to use that in our demo today. So let's just say, name this button, this bubble, or actually I think, what is that bubble? This bubble is the Tesla bubble. So I'll name my room as Tesla. Okay. And you'll see here that it's going to render out our Jitsi meeting. And I'm going to label myself as a Tesla recruiter because that's what I am in this case. And on the bottom, you'll see actually it renders out the bubble chat service. Unfortunately, right now, there is no scrolling, which is kind of a hamper, but we will be adding that very soon. But yeah, so this is what I was talking about where, it's going to automatically spawn private channels that correspond to each bubble that you'll be automatically joined to. And while it looks like this for me, Right now, it might look something like this for you, where it's just presenting this login screen. So just keep that in mind. You probably just have to register as a user. So I'm just gonna hit join meeting right now. So I'm in the meeting and I'm a Tesla recruiter. And then as the event attendee, I can actually enter that Tesla bubble now because it has been opened. So let's just enter the Tesla bubble. Yeah, so it admitted me into the Tesla bubble. Yeah, no errors there. So I can join the meeting and you'll see that I can see the Tesla recruiter. I can talk to him, have an interview, whatever. Here I am as the creator or recruiter, whatever it is, and I can see the attendee over there. And you see, I'm in the Tesla bubble. And the cool thing about Jitsi is, you can do a lot of things that you can already do, like screen sharing, right? You could customize it up, use tile view, blur your background, number of things that I encourage you to explore if you're interested. Another really useful feature here is that we understand that if you're going to have a lot of bubbles and you're taking notes on a bunch of these bubbles, it's useful to aggregate them into sort of cohesive single document. So we actually do that for you, and we pretty much collect all of your notes and we'll just email them to you with a click of a button here. So you can just click email notes and it'll email all of those notes that you made on all your bubbles fairly quickly. Right now, it's still in a sort of beta stage, this feature, because there are a couple of bugs we are fixing up with that, but we'll have that ready pretty soon too, hopefully. And so, yeah, so, that's what it's like to be inside a bubble when you're using Jitsi. Yeah, so let's go back to the bubble board here. And this time left indicator actually indicates the amount of time left in your event. So right now, actually, it's just a basic timer, but what we will be adding is actually a more sophisticated scheduler, a date picker, so that you can, schedule your events in advance and, maybe create the bubble board like a week in advance to make it more convenient for not only the event organizer, but also maybe the end user. So yeah, that is a pretty brief demo of how Bubbles works. And yeah, I encourage you to go to eventbubbles.com, create a bubble board of your own and test it out with some of your friends or something. So yeah, thank you for joining in today, guys. I know it's a bit of a long demo, but thank you so much for attending, and I hope you like our product. Thank you.